Hey guys, I'm here today with a CGC unboxing. So I haven't been spending much on comic books. I did get a New Mutants 18 the other day, but I won it on eBay for a steal. I got it graded at a 7, and I think all shipping, tax, and everything was like $26. So when you factor in how much it costs to get a book graded, as well as shipping costs, it was a steal. So with this, I know both of them are villain books. So I'm trying to expand really my collection to focus on villains. I'm about to put a lot of what I have for sale on eBay because I don't really have any ties to it. But with that, I'll go ahead and get into it. This one shouldn't have too much bubble wrap, so I shouldn't have to skip ahead. But it did come all the way from Canada. So that was a nice little steal. So we'll see how this comes out. And then on my other one, I need to talk about upgrading because I've heard a lot of other people, they'll be like, hey, you can get this book as starting out, you get it as a placeholder in your collection, and then you can always move up to upgrade. And I had a hard time trying to comprehend just how you upgrade a book, but when I opened this one up, I think I can actually talk about it. So this was packaged very well, which I'm surprised because the box was thin, so I figured it wouldn't have had this much to it. That thing just fell out. Honestly. But, ooh, it's nasty. Alright. So I've got it here. And I've wanted this book for years. It's been on my watch list. But I never found one for a good price versus this one actually was. So I've got Flash 106. This is the first appearance of Gorilla Grodd and Pied Piper. I needed it just for the Grodd because ideally something I'd like to have in my collection would be like all the first appearances of the Legion of Doom. Although Lex Luthor is probably the most expensive and Cheetah. But we'll just see how that goes. But, so we got Flash 106, came out in 1959. So technically that's pre-Silver Age, I think. I think Silver Age is considered to start in like 62. So that would put it late golden age, if I'm right. If I'm not, by all means correct me. That's cool. It's got a pink cover. This has a ton of staining on it. It's graded at a 1 with the cover detached. Piece missing back here. More stains. It's heavily stained, but it's cool. I think that's mold or a heavy rusting on that staple. But it's cool though, because now I've got this book that I've wanted, and it actually sits really well next to my Mr. Freeze. So that's cool. First Gorilla Grodd. Alright, next. This is probably going to take me a minute to unwrap because it's heavily taped. But I am excited about this. So with upgrading, right? I had this book raw for years. At least like probably since I started collecting, because it was one of my early raw books that I got or in my area locally. And I was looking at it the other day, and I saw that it was a newsstand variant. And right now, because of apps like Key Collector, newsstand variants happen to be kind of trendy. I don't care. Like, with the exception of Spawn, because I've got a 9/8 newsstand signed by Todd McFarlane that actually came from the comic shop I used to be a part of. I just don't care for a newsstand. I mean, it's not a true variant. The only difference is it has a UPC barcode on it, and the ratio and printing is different. But to me, it's not a variant. But because of that, there are collectors that do care about it. So right. So with newsstand, this is actually came to try to get open. But some collectors do care about newsstand in that particular ratio. If you don't, you can go through your collection and see if you have newsstands and try to flip them. Because that's pretty much what I did. Like, what I had was raw, it was newsstand, and when I took it out and started checking out the back, it had like a lot of staining. I would have to clean and press it. It would be about a $50 investment, maybe 60 counting all the shipping fees, just to even remotely get it to a grade that I might want. So then I started pricing around, and I sold the raw one that I had for $90, right? So expecting that one to be like maybe a 7 grade, if that. So I sold it, and then I started thinking, it's like, okay, so I have 90 that I just got for this. If I put it over here to the side, then I can use that specifically to get another copy of this book at a higher grade. So whenever I did that, I started pricing around a little bit more, and I got this book graded at a 9.6, and I think I got it for like 130. So I spent $40 more and wound up with a 9.6, which is a substantial jump from a 7. So again, taking in, this has already been graded. It's not like I had to go and buy the same exact thing, hoping to get, because I could go on eBay and buy a raw copy for exactly what I sold it for, and then after I've spent more money getting it graded, it might come back a 9.2. You know, the price difference between a 9.2 and a 9.6 on this book, if you look at websites like my comic shop, the price difference is like $60. But if you price around and you're knowledgeable about it, you know, you can make a deal and try to only get it for maybe $40, which is about what you're going to spend anyway for grading and shipping fees. Alright, finally got this thing open. Need that. And with that, I've got X-Men 221, the first appearance of Mr. Sinister, at a 9.6. So, again, had this book, had it raw. It was a newsstand variant. Sold it for 90. I paid 40 more bucks, and I got the regular direct edition 9.6. And this thing's beautiful. Like, the edges are clean. Mine had like very few non-color breaking spine ticks, but over here on the back where you have this Spider-Man cover, it had like a lot of coffee stains and everything on the back. So I could have cleaned and pressed it for the difference of this, and it may have came back an 8 at most, versus I got a 9.6. So hell yeah. Alright, but that's all I've gotten for today. I haven't tried to do any figure hunts lately. Like, the few times I've gone to Target and filmed it, I haven't seen much. I think the coolest thing I've seen was that new King Kong, but I'm not going to buy it, so I don't need to waste that money on it. And there really hasn't been anything worthwhile in my area. Like, the few times I've checked out, it's kind of all just been crap, you know? But with that, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to get a conversation going about your favorite villain and any kind of books you're after right now. But right before I made this, I started reading the whole What If Peter Parker Became the Punisher. So I'm probably going to try to get that book, because I'm about to make an action figure of it here at some point. But you guys be safe, and thank you.